welcome back to Let's Talk About It with Kelly. This is my husband, John. He's the trichologist at Freedom Clinic, Toronto. And I'm
Hello.
Kelly. Hi. The topic today is me.
You.
Me. I want to be very vulnerable right now and talk about this very rare disease that I have. And I'd like to make awareness for it. So John's going to be asking me some questions, and I'm going to answer them the best that I can without crying.
You won't cry.
Yeah.
I hope.
Okay.
Well, you can cry if you want. It's up to you.
I'm crying already.
Oh, God.
Just kidding.
Okay, so tell us why you want to tell this story in the first place. What's motivating you here?
I want to tell this story because it's a woman's health issue. And I feel like there's a lot of women's health issues out there that are not being told. And I wanted to tell my story, so hopefully maybe I can help somebody not go through the crazy, painful path that I had to go through with doctors.
So this is something that is real, but it's not really well known, is what you're saying.
Yes. A lot of doctors, well, most doctors don't know about it.
That's crazy.
And when I mention what I have, they don't know. They have to look it up. They don't know anything about it. So
it's a disease?
It's a disease.
So
I have a disease.
What's the disease you're talking about?
The disease is FMD, Fibromuscular Dysplasia.
Okay, so what is that exactly?
So what is this? This is when the major arteries that are going to your organs bead. So they bulge, and contract. So when you see it on an MRI, it actually looks like a bead of pearls.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yes. And yeah.
Okay.
So that's what happens, and it affects your blood pressure and your organs.
Wow. Okay. How did you find out that you had it?
Well, I've been suffering for quite a few years with high blood pressure, uncontrollable high blood pressure. And doesn't matter what I was doing, the lifestyle, medications that I was taking, nothing was working for me. And I would have all of these symptoms. Like I felt like I was being choked. I felt like there was a blood pressure cuff on my arms. The swishing in my ears, just being hot. Like I thought it was a hot flash, but my whole body would burn up. And it was painful. Very painful.
So,
and nobody would believe me that I felt like I was being choked. Do you remember when we went into the doctor's office and I brought my husband because nobody would believe me that I felt like I was being choked. And I said to the doctor, I feel like I'm being choked. And then I asked John, tell her. And you said, yeah, she feels like she's being choked. And there's nothing I can do. What am I going to do? I've had CAT scans. I've had all kinds of testing done, and there's nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you.
So what happened? Remember what happened? So tell the story about what happened when, remember you had that episode where your blood pressure went over, it was like 200 over 100 or some crazy thing.
So what happened was when I went to the doctors trying to get help, like over and over, doctors. And when I went to the doctors about being choked and the blood pressure cuff and whatnot, my blood pressure was so high, I thought I was having a stroke. I couldn't talk. My blood pressure was 220 over 117. It was so ridiculous. Like I was stroking out. I asked my husband, John, to call the ambulance. And he said, you're just having a panic attack. Just take a deep breath. I said, no, I'm not having a panic attack. Call the ambulance right now. And the ambulance came, and they were even shocked about how high my blood pressure was. So they took me to the hospital, and they didn't know what was wrong with me. I had this pain in my neck, and I felt like there was a knife in my neck. And they did a scan, and it came back that I had one of my arteries in my neck I had a dissection.
A dissection? What's a dissection?
It's when the artery tears off or tears apart. And it splits and the blood flows in a different direction. And they found in the CAT scan that I had a TIA on my brain.
Wow, okay.
So we were freaking out. They had to give me Ativan. They had to calm me down. They had to try to get my blood pressure down. Yeah. So in the meantime, they're referring me to a vascular surgeon, a neurologist, immediately trying to get some answers here. The main thing that they wanted to do was get my blood pressure down because like they were really scared I was going to stroke out.
Okay.
Big time. So in the meantime, my family doctor, because I've been in and out of the doctor's office so many times, they and I was peeing blood, and I didn't even know I was peeing blood.
What? Oh.
I was peeing blood, so I had asked for some help with that, and she said, okay, I'll book a kidney specialist appointment. So I had the testing done with the kidney specialist, and then all this happened. So we were just waiting for results to come in. So when the results came in, they found that I had FMD on my kidney, and that was increasing my blood pressure.
So the FMD causes your blood pressure to spike.
Yes. So what happens is when your brain tells your body, if you're stressed out or you're thinking too much, or mostly stress, if your body's stressed out, your brain tells your kidney, and then your kidney raises your blood pressure. And that was what was happening to me because I was under a lot of stress at that time.
So how does the FMD come in there?
The FMD, the blood doesn't flow through and out of the arteries properly.
Oh, okay.
It contracts and bulges.
Okay.
So with FMD, when you're stressed out, well, for me, it was stress.
Right. So then you found out you had FMD on one of the arteries going into your kidney.
Kidney.
Okay.
In the ultrasound, they also found that I had FMD on my iliac artery going to my stomach.
Okay.
I felt like there was something wrong with my legs, like the arteries in my legs, but we didn't end up testing that. But they did do an MRI on my neck to see, because I felt like I had FMD on my arteries because I had the dissection. We did a CAT scan on my neck. It came back that there was no FMD on my arteries.
There was a dissection, but no FMD or nothing else there.
The report came back saying there was no FMD on my arteries.
Nothing there. Okay.
So I have it on my kidney. I have it on my stomach.
Okay. And then what were they going to do about
There's nothing you can do. This is the problem, is there's no testing.
No, but I mean to treat the artery.
There's nothing that they can do about it. Now, what was happening was my blood pressure was so uncontrollable, the kidney specialist wanted to do an angioplasty on my kidney artery. So to open it up, basically. To open it up to get the blood pressure down. Okay. Now, I was freaking out about that.
Well, I remember because I was there, and the first time she said that, it's the first time she told us about it. She said that, I'm going to ask my colleagues because an option. But then when she called us back, or we did a follow-up or something, I can't remember exactly how we spoke to her, but we went back in and she called us like 2 days later and said, so I called around and I talked to all my specialists and they all said, no, nobody wants to touch it. Yeah. They don't want to do it. They don't want to do this shit. Why? It's too dangerous. Mm-hmm. You could lose your kidney. Most likely you'd end up losing your kidney. So we don't want to do it. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then
we saw her again, and then she said my blood pressure was still really, really high.
Right, we did a follow-up a couple months later or something.
And she said, we're booking you in. We're booking you in. Yeah. I've got a doctor that's going to do the angioplasty. So we were really confused, and we were scared.
I asked her, I said, well, I thought you said this was too risky. Mm-hmm. And she says, oh, all surgeries are risky. Yeah. So how did she go from... We have to do this, or no. How did she go from this is too risky, nobody wants to do this, to okay, I'm booking your appointment? Mm-hmm. And we actually had it booked, and then we canceled it.
I canceled it.
Yeah. So tell us that part of the story.
Because I went with my instinct. Everything in my being was telling me, do not do this. And I did my own research with people that have this disease and that has had that, and every single one that has had this angioplasty on a FMD artery has lost their kidney.
Okay, so how did you make your final decision that you weren't going to do this, and how were you going to treat it?
I told her I wasn't going to do it. She was not happy with me at all, and I also told her that I found an FMD doctor in the U.S. that I had made an appointment with because, again, there is no testing and there is no doctors in Canada that are specialists in FMD. So that was really scary for us.
So tell us that story. So how did you find this doctor in the U.S.?
I did some research, and I'm like desperate looking for an FMD doctor. Nothing in Canada, and then I found this specialist, an FMD specialist in the U.S. I emailed and I was waiting for them to get back to me. And by a miracle, they wrote me back, and they said they would take me as a patient. So I made the appointment. We booked our ticket for a hotel, and we flew down there, and it was a miracle.
This was New York City.
I met an angel, Dr. Kadian.
Yeah, she was really smart.
She was an angel.
Well, the thing is these were specialists, and that's all they specialize in is FMD. That's incredible.
Yeah. The first thing that she did was give me validation.
Right.
She gave me validation.
Oh, but you know what else she did? Remember, she looked at the scans?
Yeah.
That was ridiculous.
I had to send in all the testing, and I had a lot of testing.
We had a lot of scans.
From the vascular surgeons, from the neurologist, from the kidney specialist, the hospital, for the dissection. All of that had to be sent to her before I got there. So she had analyzed all of my tests. She did her own renal test on me, and another test, I can't remember what it was, but she did, it was some kind of ultrasound. Anyways, when we met with her and she pulled up my scans from when I had the dissection, I had tests done after that because I thought I had it on my neck. She looked at the testing before that, and she said, I said, well, I don't have FMD in my neck. She said, you absolutely do have FMD on your neck. She looked at the scan and she showed us the FMD on my arteries. She said, you have FMD on all the arteries in your neck.
Yeah.
And they told me here in Canada.
And veins, right?
No, not veins. Just
arteries. Okay.
So they told me here that I did not have it in my neck. So that's right. That speaks volumes right there.
But then we found out that the dissection is a common in FMD.
Yes.
That's what we found out.
So because of Dr. Kadian, I'm in a study. And like I was saying before, there's not a lot of studies. There's not a lot of funding for this. There's not a lot of doctors.
I remember she
So I got into a study. I told her about the angioplasty. I said, my doctor wants to do the angioplasty.
Right.
And she said, absolutely not. Those were exact words, just like that. Absolutely not to do that. She goes, we can control this with this type of blood pressure medication. Yeah. So she switched my medication on the spot. She said no to the angioplasty. She said I made the right decision, and I could follow up with her whenever I want. There's no cure for this disease, unfortunately.
So how does it affect you now? I mean, we've got your blood pressure sort of under control.
I do have.
It still affects. You still get these episodes of high blood pressure all the time, which is really scary.
It is scary because I ended up joining an FMD group.
Right.
So there's people just like me that they're in a group and they tell their story. Okay. Our stories are similar. Now it's just women.
Wow.
It's just women that are my age that have had some kind of menopause, menopause or post.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
So it could be 40 to 60.
Okay.
So it's just women. It's just women my age. Smoking is a
contributing factor.
High stress level is a contributor. Yeah. So, I mean, it's
anything else contributing? I thought there was something else. No, stress.
Yes. From the small studies that they have done, or the limited studies that they have done, they're thinking that there's a link to a gene called the F1 gene. So every woman that they have tested has had this gene.
Wow.
So it's inherited, and you have to have this cluster of things happen, like a perfect storm. If you've got the gene and you have this perfect storm, that's how it's developed. That's what they're thinking. They're not sure.
Interesting.
Even to this day, they're not sure.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm taking care of myself. I take the new blood pressure medication, and they had me on blood thinners and whatnot. I took myself off the blood thinners. Maybe I shouldn't have. Maybe I just can't function like that. I was so lethargic. I was basically crawling on the floor. I had no energy.
Yeah, blood thinners are bad for that.
Yeah.
They can be really bad.
So I wanted quality of life, and I have an aspirin in my purse just in case, and I have this medication I got from my kidney doctor for when my blood pressure goes over 160. that I take this pill and it lowers my blood pressure right away. It's not something I can take every day.
Right.
So
like
I
an
try to.
emergency pill.
Yeah, it's an emergency
Just like
pill.
the aspirin, the low dose.
Yeah,
aspirin.
and Ativan. I have to get my body completely down.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So.
Okay, so there's something else that's kind of related. I don't know if they're, well, they may not be related, but they were sort of happening at the same time that was causing this numbness on the left side of your body.
So having so this is another disorder that I have that I just found out. It's called FND, Functional Neurological Disorder. I discovered that I have that after I had my breakdown when I was sent to the ambulance with a high blood pressure and I had the dissection. So what happened after I came back from the hospital, I noticed that my left hand was always shaking all the time. And when I was trying to type, and my hand would be shaking. And I thought something was wrong, and my words were slurring. And
oh yeah, they thought you had they'd make it testing you to make sure you didn't have a stroke. Well, you had it. They thought you had a TIA
on my brain,
but this was going. This was
different.
ongoing.
This
it was ongoing too.
The dissection was on the right side. This was happening on my left side. So I started to shake, and I thought there was something really wrong with me, and I thought I had brain damage.
Right.
And
like a stroke.
Yeah. So I'd be talking in a sentence, and then I'd be forgetting what the sentence, what I was talking about. I'd be searching for words.
Right.
Then it started in my foot. So I always feel like my foot is asleep all the time. And so the left side of my body is very weak.
Okay.
And when I get upset, I do like a claw. My arm goes like this.
Huh.
So I went to my doctor and I said, I think I have brain damage. Like something's wrong with me with my left side. I'm shaking all the time, and my left. And she said, I'll make an appointment for you to see a neurologist. So they booked the appointment, and I had to wait 1 year to get in. 1 year. They booked it in January, and I didn't get into December that year.
Following.
Yeah.
Oh
So
my God.
I know it was a year. I had to wait to see a neurologist, and I did see the neurologist. They did all this testing, and he said everything seems fine because I still have the strength. And they did some testing, and he says, you know what? I have a colleague here. I have a suspicion. I think I know what it is. So he booked me with a neurologist that specializes in FND, and I met her. Another angel. I met her. She did some testing, very basic testing, and she said, you have FND.
Okay, so what's FND again?
It's Functional Neurological Disorder.
So what is it?
So it's when your body has been under so much stress,
right,
that it's not she told me it's not a hardware problem. So it's not brain damage, it's a software problem. So apparently I can train my brain to come back. But because your body's under so much, my body was under so much stress that it affected the circuiting of my brain.
Well, like the communication between your brain and your movements in your left side.
That's right.
Wow.
Yes.
So how did she diagnose it?
Well, she's a specialist. She can tell. Just from my history from
Did they do some kind of like electrical testing of some kind to check?
Well, the neurologist did that, but this doctor, because I had already done all the testing with the neurologist, when I saw the FND doctor that just specializes in that, she just did stuff like for me to just tap, right hand, left hand, and then do it faster and faster, and then I couldn't move my left hand.
Right.
I can move my right hand,
yeah, but
I can't move my left hand.
Wow.
And so it was just all these little tiny things that she said, yeah, absolutely, this is exactly what it is. And from my past, my history, we went through my history and just things that I had been through in my life. And I'd just been through a big grief period that was affecting my nervous system. So it's basically your nervous system being overworked for a long period of time, and it just can't take it anymore, and it breaks down. And that's what happened to me.
So wasn't there some kind of associations as well? That like, wasn't it associated with PTSD? Didn't a lot of people who...
Yes, people who have this have PTSD, and I have been diagnosed with PTSD.
Wow. Okay. So, okay.
But that's a whole other story.
Okay. Which
and everybody knows why.
You're not going to get into right now.
I'm not going to get into it.
Okay. So we've got FMD and we've got FND. The FMD, we don't really have a treatment for.
There's not a treatment.
You have blood pressure meds, and you got to try and keep your blood pressure down as much as possible.
Yes.
Incidentally, I also wanted to mention that you had some success for a while using CBD to lower the blood pressure in combination with these meds. I remember that when we tried CBD, and for some reason, I think you took it because you wanted to feel less stressed, and then we checked on your blood pressure and it was way down.
It dropped drastically. Like all of a sudden I was feeling very like not high. Like I can tell when my blood pressure gets high, I was just like, oh my God, what's happening? Like I feel kind of weak almost. We took the blood pressure and it had dropped drastically. So we're like, okay, well, I think we're onto something here, you know?
Yeah, we kept it going for a while, but you haven't been using it lately? I haven't
been using it lately because obviously people that take THC or CBD, it gives you like a dry mouth, and I had saliva stones, and that's having a dry throat or dry mouth can cause stones, and I didn't want to have anything going sideways with my neck. I have PTSD with shit going on with my neck. So another thing that I discovered too, and I hope if people are listening and they have some of these symptoms or they have FMD, maybe they've noticed that when my heart rate is up, my blood pressure's down.
Right, and that's not necessarily normal.
It's not in the textbook, but nothing is.
Right.
This is just something that we both have noticed.
Yeah.
Right, and because I have a log that I log my blood pressure because I take it often to see, to make sure. And I noticed consistently that when my heart rate is high, my blood pressure is low. When my blood pressure is low or high, my blood pressure is low. When my blood pressure is high, my heart rate is low. Yes. So that
kind of makes sense. Like
it's consistent.
If your heart rate's high, it's going to be pushing the blood through quicker. You'd think that would raise your blood pressure, not lower it.
Sitting around and doing nothing is not good for FMD. No. This is my theory. Okay, don't quote me on this. That is just me and my theory. Now, there's doctors out there that say you cannot work out. Do not work out when you have FMD. You're going to have a stroke. There's doctors that say, well, that's not true. You can work out, but don't lift heavy weights, and don't go to a chiropractor, don't go on roller coasters, stuff like that. Some doctors are saying now, yes, definitely work your cardio. Cardio's really good, and I think that a lot of people are saying the same thing that I've been saying. So I have been working out my whole entire life. It's a part of my being, and if somebody says to me that I cannot work out anymore,
no, you have to
that's a death sentence for me, because I need it for my mental health and my body. So I decided that I was going to fight through. I was crawling around on the floor and I was in bed. I couldn't get out. You know this. I could not get out. And I said, this is not me.
Right.
This is not the end. I'm going to get up and I'm going to fight. And I've been fighting. And I started to work out again, and I was getting stronger and stronger. And now I do Reform Pilates, and I don't take blood thinners, and it's working for me. I don't know if this is the best thing for me, but I don't know.
Well, your blood pressure's mostly under control. Sometimes it spikes, but it's always to do with stress, right? It's always when you get stressed out, with work or whatever. is stressing us out. You know, your blood pressure seems to go up, but as soon as you're able to relax and do your workouts and everything, then your blood pressure seems to stabilize a bit.
I need to retire.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. We need to retire. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
If I can manage, and I'm going to say this to everybody out there that is feeling the same as me, if you can manage your stress level,
right,
that's the key.
That'll make a big difference.
That is the major thing. You take a look at your life and you try to get rid of the stressors, people in your family members, friends, work, whatever's causing you grief, get rid of it, because it's going to be a deal breaker if you have this.
Because there's not really a treatment.
There's no treatment right now.
There's no treatment for it. Once those veins have changed,
that's right,
or arteries have changed, they can't be fixed. Really,
they can't be fixed.
You can't be putting stents in all over.
No. So
wow.
That's
I
decided to have quality of life, and I'm a fighter, and I've been fighting. And that's my story.
And the same with the FND. There's not really a treatment. Oh, I think there's some therapy you can do, like some physical therapy.
Yeah,
right?
I went to see. There's neurology, physiotherapy. I went to see that doctor, and he basically said there's nothing that he can do for me that I'm not already doing myself.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah. So
that's tough. It's a tough battle. I feel for you.
Thanks, babe.
I try to help as much as I can, but it's a tough thing.
I know.
But I'm so glad that you found those people and we made that trip. We had to go to the U.S. to get a proper evaluation, actually.
Right. Dr. Cadian from Mount Sinai Hospital
in New York City.
Is amazing.
Yeah.
And she is so good that I had to pay. Obviously, I had to pay to go, and
It wasn't that bad though.
Well, it is thousands and thousands of dollars, but because I don't know why, but I don't have insurance in the States, but they know that we don't have the insurance, so they discount it. They gave us a really good deal.
Yeah.
Amazing.
It was really reasonable.
It was very reasonable.
Yeah.
I do it over and over again if I had to. But with Dr. Cadian, she felt so bad for me. She wanted to monitor me for free.
Right. Yeah. She said
she emailed me to see how I was doing. She wanted to know my blood pressure.
Yeah.
We had to do a journal. When I was sent to the hospital, because I went back to the hospital with high blood pressure, and I thought I was actually going to stroke out again. Right. It felt like the medication wasn't working. We were freaking out. My blood pressure. The ambulance came. I said bye to my daughter. I said, say bye to McKenna.
I remember that.
Because I didn't think I was going to come back.
I know. That was hard.
But when we went to the hospital, you emailed her, and she emailed you right back.
Yeah.
This is a surgeon.
Yeah.
This is a cardio surgeon. She emailed you right back and said, listen, this is what you're going to do. I think she phoned and she talked to the doctor, because the doctor, when I went to the hospital again, had no idea what FMD was.
Yeah, I remember that.
And you were really upset because how are you going to treat her if you don't know what it is?
Yeah.
So I think Dr. Cadian talked to him and explained things.
Yeah. Wow.
Anyways, I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. That's right.
I'm here, and I know that I have her support whenever I want. I've got a support group, and I'm not alone, and it's not in my head.
Jesus.
I have support with my family. Wow. I mean, not my family, but my husband. You know what I mean? But yeah, so that's my story. And I mean, if anybody feels that they have these symptoms, high blood pressure, uncontrollable high blood pressure is the number one thing. And if you have that, your doctor works for you. You ask your doctor, tell your doctor you want to be tested for FMD.
Yeah. Oh, what's FMD?
Yeah.
So you go to the kidney specialist first, right? Because it was a kidney specialist who first found the first beating.
Yes.
The first artery.
Yes, but I mean, most doctors, if you said I want to be tested for FMD, they're going to say, "What the hell's that?"
Wow.
Right?
Crazy.
But I'm just letting you know, you don't have to go through years and years of struggling like I did. You asked to have that test done.
Right.
If it comes back that you have beating on your kidneys, which is usually what happens,
The kidney
then you
artery.
know. Then
Yeah.
you can investigate further.
Yeah.
And like I said, there's no doctors in Canada that specialize in it. But I mean, there is a support group if you want to know what that support group is. And if you want to talk about it, just private message me through the clinic or leave a comment and I'll get back to you 100%. I feel that this needs to be said and I want it out there
Wow.
for people so they don't have to suffer the way I did.
Well, that's great. Thank you for sharing all that.
Thanks.
Cal, that's brave of you. Very brave.
Thanks.
Okay, so that's our episode for
Yeah.
today, and I think that just about finishes up season 2.
Yes.
We'll be starting season 3 shortly with a bunch more topics, and maybe we're going to start expanding outside the hair
We're going to
loss
have,
area.
yes, we're going to have
And
some
we're gonna-
guests.
Yeah, start bringing some interesting people in to talk about
Yeah.
hair loss and other things as
Medical
well.
aesthetics.
Medical aesthetics. So stay tuned. We'll see you soon, and thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.